not sure if that's a good. I'll go with
Well, they said apparently
something I've learnt today.
Apparently, that these slats in the roof that we are in front of us here had to be taken out, cleaned up, and replaced individually because they were actually protected. They weren't allowed to dispose of them or demolish them.
Wow, that's something I've learnt, Paul. Thank you very much.
And that's why it looks very, very similar when you actually come into the pool. It's have a big facelift here, and it's certainly around the poolside. The pool itself, the diving pit, you can just see at the top of your screen, has been all refurbished for the Commonwealth Games. Of course, 2 years ago the diving was held here, but the actual kind of physical scene of the pool as you wander in looks very, very similar, very familiar if you were here a few years back.
I certainly agree with you on that, Paul. Pool looks very, very similar to what it's been for quite some years. Well aware that it has had a significant facelift, and it does look very, very popular for swimmers taking part here. They enjoy coming to the Commie, as it's known locally.
Yeah, very good venue to swim in. The swimmers enjoying it. It's a good atmosphere here as well. A number of spectators are in this morning. It's early Saturday morning. Of course, more heats to come this afternoon for the slower heats, I suppose. The swimmers given these opportunities to swim at this East District Open Grand Prix, trying, of course, to make their way to the final session this evening, which should be very exciting indeed. We are in the first heat of this 400 individual medley for women, and we do have Lily Jane Haggerty from City of Glasgow in 2, Brooke Laurie in 3 from Highland, Lucy Williamson in 4 from Highland, Sophie Hamilton, the leader at the moment, from Warrender in lane number 5, and Elle McMillan in lane number 6 from Arbroath St Thomas. And Elle McMillan had a very good swim in the 800 yesterday, had a very good finish to that. Started off very, very fast indeed and finished very strongly as well. And she is a little bit off the pace at the moment. I was going to say there was 4 in a row, but now there's 3 in a row as they come to the end of the backstroke. But again, it is an individual medley. Swimmers will have their specialist disciplines, and we may see big variations here as they move on to the breaststroke, although the 3 breaststrokers at the front look pretty close at the moment. Coming back with the red cap though, it does look like Sophie Hamilton going well in lane number 5, but the best of the lot so far, lane number 2, Lily Jane Haggerty.
Yeah, it's the youngster, 13-year-old Lily Jane Haggerty, who is just beginning to pull about 1.5 meters ahead of lane 4, Lucy Williamson from Highland. Her teammate in lane 3 is now dropped back into 4th position. However, at the turn, 3:27.32, it's Lily Jane Haggerty from Lucy Williamson. Sophie Hamilton now beginning to get almost on terms for second place there. It's still the youngster from the City of Glasgow. She's leading by about 3 meters, and it's the red cap of Wanda, Sophie Hamilton, who's now gone into second. Sophie Hamilton just about 0.5 meter ahead of Lucy Williamson, who's battling very strongly just to keep on terms here. However, Lily Jane Haggerty, let's see what advantage she has with 100 to go. 4:15.30, 4:16.84, just over 1.5 seconds, and about 1.5 seconds between second and third as they kick for home down this penultimate 50. It's City of Glasgow. Lily Jane Haggerty leading here, Paul. Looks though she's going to take this one fairly comfortably with just 60 to go.
Yeah, she does look good so far. When she comes in to the final turn here. The younger swimmer in this field, has an advantage there of just over 2 seconds. Well, she's looking like she is going to take this one. Lucy Williamson from Highland in second position. Brooke Laurie from Highland trying to come back there in line number 3. The red cap of Sophie Hamilton in line number 4. They're not going to catch Lily Jane Haggerty. 5:31.00 was the entry time for Haggerty. Looks like she's going to be inside that by a couple of seconds. And a good swim there. In fact, just half a second actually. I thought she was going a little bit faster than that. But 5:30.53 in the end. She will be pleased with that one. Half a second improvement on her entry time. And it was Lucy Williamson in second position in 5:32.45, and 4/100 separating Brooke Laurie and Sophie Hamilton in the end. 5:35.01, 5:35.05, and again, contrast there. Brooke Laurie in contention all the way, but the breaststroke, she really suffered on there, but came back very strongly on the freestyle to clinch third position there.
Heat 2 now underway. We have 4 heats. This heat is not seeded. Unlike the previous events, the last 2 heats being a 400 are seeded. So we have Katie Smith from Warner Baths in 1. She's gone out very strongly. Molly Young, City of Glasgow in 2. Lucy Ross, East Kilbride in 3. Beth Gill, Heart of Midlothian 4. Libby Simpson, Warner Baths in lane 5. Catherine Crombie at Burnt Island in 6, Anna Mackay, Warner Baths in 7, and Lindsay Jack from Gala in 8.
Yeah, a good start there in lane number 1. Katie Smith from Warrender really going out fast there. The Warrender swimmer has just got a massive big lead there in this butterfly leg. Well, we'll see the swimmers are using their best strokes to their advantage, and Katie Smith certainly using the butterfly. She's going to have a big lead here in the early stages.
No surprise to see Katie Smith going out very fast. Katie has certainly improved in most of her strokes this year, Paul. You expect her breaststroke to be strong. This, I'd say, is her weakest section of IM, but she's got off to a cracking start, so she'll want to try and hold it together. Katie, better known over a shorter distance. She actually won the 200 IM national age groups. And at the turn, 1:50.47. So that was about a 42-second. Libby Simpson, our teammate, some 4.5 seconds behind, 1:55.12. So you'd certainly expect Katie to hold on to the lead coming down to her favourite breaststroke. Katie's entry time 5:23.51. It's very much a question of Katie trying just to keep the stamina levels going. 400, a big ask. And she's very strong over the 200, but I think she'll want to prove something today in the pool, that she can mix it with some of these stronger swimmers in the next 2 heats. 2:32.03.
Well, that perceived weak stroke hasn't really made much of a difference here in terms of the lead, and she is on safer territory as she moves into the breaststroke. Very smooth breaststroke there from Katie in lane number 1. She is being chased by her Warrender teammate. That's Libby Simpson in lane number 5. And, well, again, not really making a big impression at the moment as they come up to the halfway point on this breaststroke leg. I'll just check on the gap. 3:17.20 for Katie Smith, 3:21.10 for Libby Simpson. Is ahead of Lucy Ross. Beth Gill in 4th position at the moment. Close contest there for, well, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and they are beginning now just to pull back on Katie Smith there from Warrender. It's a very, very handy lead though. She can just hold on there as she goes on to the freestyle leg. It is going to be a lot closer than it was at the end of the backstroke leg, but still Katie Smith has that lead and retained the lead all the way through this so far.
Yes, it's not that Katie Smith's not a poor swimmer. That is a very, very demanding schedule to try and do a 400 IM when she doesn't do it very often, and she'll want to just keep this going. She'll be looking for something around about the 5:15 mark, I suspect. Breaststroke, although she kept it going over the 100 metres, she was somewhere around about the 1:35 mark. And in fact, Libby Simpson has just gone about a second ahead of her. She looks as though she's timed this very well, the Warrender girl, and also finishing very, very strongly in lane 3 is Lucy Ross from East Kilbride. Katie Smith now dropped back into third. However, it looks as though it's Simpson in lane 5, Lucy Ross in 3, and Katie Smith. They're some way ahead of the field. This is a very, very good swim from the Wonder Girl in lane 5 to take this. Lucy Ross will be second, and Katie Smith, our early leader, coming in third. Libby Simpson takes that 5:18.48. Lucy Ross 5:18.77, and the time now up there for Katie Smith 5:20.55. Still an improvement on her time. However, just beginning to die a little bit there on the stamina there, Paul.
Yeah, the other two in the centre maybe timed it a little bit better there. And Libby Simpson confirmed in first position in 5:18.48. Lucy Ross in second, just 0.3 of a second behind. And Katie Smith, a good swim from her, 5:20.55. Certainly went out with intention there on the butterfly leg. Just wasn't able to hold it to win that heat in the closing stages, but a good time for Katie Smith there, an improvement on her entry time, and she'll be satisfied with that one. We move on to heat number 3, and this is the first of the seeded heats here. Ailey Redpath from Midlothian in 1, Emma Scully in 2 from City of Glasgow, Kiana McInnes from Heart of Midlothian in lane number 3, Chanel Snedden from first in lane number 4. The two Aileys, Ailey Duthie from Coast in 5, Ailey Grant in 6 from Dundee City Aquatic, Emma Chittleborough Warrender in 7, Taylor Finlayson from Warrender in lane number 8. Well, the two seeded heats, and just 3 of the swimmers entered for this event under the 5-minute mark. Chanel Snedden is one of those, 4:53.50 her entry time. We have 2 to follow in the heat after this one, Orla Adams and Nikki Miller. First to the wall though is Kiana McInnes, just by 3/100ths ahead of Chanel Snedden, but immediately onto the backstroke leg, and Chanel Snedden goes into the lead and already was a full body length ahead of Kiana McInnes, and this is an impressive backstroke leg there from Chanel Snedden.
Chanel looking very good coming down halfway on the backstroke. Chanel third at national age groups. Kiana, as expected on the butterfly, her strongest of the 4 events, 4 strokes, taking a lead at the first 100. However, Chanel just got about a 3 or 4 metre advantage. Kiana McInnes, Emma Scully in lane 2. This is certainly Emma's strongest of the 4 strokes, her backstroke. So no surprise to see the City of Glasgow 15-year-old Youth Development Squad member coming through very strongly. Kiana McInnes is probably Kiana's weakest of the 4 strokes. She's turning third. Chanel at the halfway mark, 2:25.12. I suspect somewhere around about the 5:15 mark may well be the target to get into the A final. There is no B final this evening, just the one final for the 400 IM. So it's important that these girls swim as fast as they can.
Well, two swimmers there just battling for fourth position in lane 5 and 6, the two Ailey's. And fourth position may well be very, very important in this one, with just one more heat to come. Try and make it into that A final. Janelle Snedden, well, she started off very well in the backstroke with going into a lead. It didn't really increase much on the second 50, but certainly onto this breaststroke she has pushed home that advantage. Kiana McInnes now clear in second position. Emma Scully holding on to third, but only just. And Ailey Duthie coming back into the picture now in lane number 5, with Ailey Grant, Dundee City Aquatic, now down in fourth position. But it's been a good breaststroke leg here from Janelle Snedden. Thought the backstroke may be decisive. Didn't quite turn out to be that, but I think the breaststroke may well be the one that has swung it firmly in the favour of Chanel Snedden. Kiana McInnes still in second. It's a good tussle for third there. Ailey Duthie now coming back on Emma Scully, and probably going into third position as they are into the freestyle.
And the swimmers turning in fourth position round about the 4:01 mark, so that will be an interesting point when we get into the final heat. Our fifth swimmer turning in 4:04. However, Chanel Snedden probably looking to come in somewhere around about the 5:05 mark. Looks very relaxed coming down here. Kiana McInnes also, she'll certainly be in the A final. She's looking very strong coming down. Very important to ensure third place. I think the first three will certainly be in the A final. And third place looks as though Ailey Duthie from Coast now coming through. Emma Scully with work to do even now to hold on to fourth place. However, Chanel Snedden, very, very nice swim from Chanel. Takes this 5:03.50. Kiana McInnes, good solid swim from the 15-year-old from Hearts, 5:09.23, just outside her time. Ailey Duthie, 5:12.36 and 5:13.62. Emma Scully, Ailey Grant, 5:14.28. So 5:15. Certainly the swimmers in the next event, next heat, will have to get inside 5:15 if they want to be in this evening's final, Paul.
That's the way it looks. There is the confirmed result, 5:03.50. Chanel Snedden taking that one, McInnes in second, Duthie in third, Scully in fourth, and Grant in fifth. So, yeah, that's going to be the target, I suppose. Swimmers in this final heat will have their eyes on those times.
In lane 1 we have Katie Golder from Midlothian, Connie Mackay ran 96 in 2, Katie Taylor from Heart of Midlothian in 3, Orla Adams from Geary in 4, Nikki Miller from East Kilbride in lane 5, Katie McKenzie City of Glasgow 6, Ellie Turner Carnegie in 7, and Iona McLeod in lane 8 from Dundee City Aquatics. And at the turn, 31.34, Orla Adams, Nikki Miller and Katie McKenzie are 1, 2, 3. And coming down with just over 25 to go of Butterfly, Orla Adams, winner at the National Age Group Championships in the 17-year over. Nikki Miller, she was the winner at National Age Groups in the 16-year-old age group. So very strong on Butterfly as well, Nikki. And very little between the two of them. The 100 metre mark, 1:08.40, fairly similar times to what we've had so far. Katie Taylor now gone into third. She was second behind Nikki in national age groups. So it's all to play for down this backstroke, Paul.
A vested interest in this one, Robert?
I'm very interested to see if Nikki can get under the 5-minute mark again, 4:57.20. She had a very good swim last night, finished third in 800 free. And she's going fairly well. It's very little between Geary and Hartz now. Orla Adams, Katie Taylor and Nikki Miller. And probably this is her weakest stroke, the backstroke, Nikki. Katie Taylor fairly strong on fly and her backstroke. Weakest stroke being breaststroke, so she'll want to kick on here, and she's now leading the field, I think, Paul, as we're coming out to the halfway mark. East District champion. So she'll want to ensure she's in the final this evening. At the moment she's doing fairly well against Orla Adams and Nikki Miller. Orla turning in 2:26.56, 400s ahead of Katie and Nikki. Very little between the leading three at the moment, Paul.
Yeah, these three making their way in this heat and possibly making their way into the top 8 for the final this evening. Orla Adams certainly going away on this breaststroke as we expected that she might do. Taylor and Nikki Miller will have to fight it out for second position. Also going well in lane number 7. There is Ellie Turner from Carnegie. Adams has gone away. Has about a 3-second advantage now, really taking a lot of distance out of the other two. It's very close for second and third. Nikki Miller just about half a second ahead of Katie Taylor. Line number 1 going well. Katie Golder, that green cap, Midlothian, down there just at the bottom of the picture there. Just about level with Ellie Turner. But Orla Adams has used this to great advantage there, as we expected that she might do. I'll keep an eye on the times for the others. Certainly Katie Taylor, Nikki Miller in contention for a place in that A final alongside Orla Adams, of course. But it's all kind of closed up a little bit, and a good swim there from Katie Golder in line number 1 there, bringing her back into contention.
That was a super breaststroke from Midlothian's Katie Golder. 16-year-olds in second, third and fourth there. Orla Adams looks very comfortable, the 21-year-old from Geary. Nikki Miller, she's second. Katie Taylor is third. I think we're fairly safe in saying at the 4-minute mark they probably are good enough to make the final. You just got to work that little bit harder down the final 50. Nikki about a second and a half ahead of Katie. Katie Golder with some work to do, 4:38.43. She's got to come somewhere inside 35 seconds to get in the mix to have a chance of getting into that final. I don't know whether that'll be good enough. Certainly Orla Adams will be in that final. Nikki Miller will, and I suspect Katie Taylor will also. Orla Adams 5:02.65, that's her fastest, so she'll be in the middle lane. Nikki Miller 5:08.48, Katie Taylor 5:10.10. They're certainly in the final, I'm sure. Katie Golder 5:14.58. That fourth position, Paul, I think probably not good enough, but we will confirm that to you fairly shortly. We'll give you the finalists for some of our early events during